Hi, this is Peter Thompson. I have with me Lyle.Webster. He's a clean energy consultant for Vivint Solar. Hey, Lyle, how are you today?
I'm pretty well, Peter. Good to see you.
Good, good, good. Hey, is it okay if I ask you some questions?
I'd love it. This would be a good chance to get this out there in the world.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So questions about installing solar panels and having solar panels on my house, right?
Yeah.
Why should I install solar panels?
Excellent question. And this is what I do for my daily work. And in order to get people in the right frame of mind, they have to know they have a problem first, and then that they need a solution. So nobody goes out and spends money because they feel like, let's go spend some money. They have a problem that they want to solve. So the problem folks need to realize is that electricity costs a lot to begin with, and it's continually going up. The fact of the matter is the electricity you buy, you're paying for twice because it has to be created somewhere and then it has to be shipped to you. So on your bill, if you look at it, you're paying for supply and delivery. Do you ever buy anything online, shoes, clothes, anything like that?
All the time, yeah.
So if you find just the right pair of shoes, hiking boots, whatever, you're ready to hit the trails, you find them, you like them, they're $100, and then you get to the checkout, and now all of a sudden they want another $100 to deliver those hiking boots. Do you buy them?
Uh, if they're really good hiking boots, I probably would. I know the last purchase I just made was exactly that. It was 100% of the what they call delivery charges of the purchase price. Yeah.
So oftentimes that would make people say no, but the fact of the matter is folks in National Grid, Eversource, and Unitil are doing just that every month with their electricity. So the electricity costs for being created, and then you pay for getting it to your house, and it's usually double. So why solar panels? So you can make the power yourself right there at home.
That's fantastic. So question, do I need to have my house facing a certain direction in order for the panels to use, such as, facing east or western sun?
Yep. Excellent question. So really everyone can, and I would posit should have their home evaluated. The fact of the matter is every roof sees some sun. Certainly south is going to see the most sun, but if you have east and west, you get sunrise and sunset on that roof. The only time that you don't really benefit is if you have a steeply sloping roof. The south side sees a bunch of sun and the north side doesn't see as much. So we really only work on the south side of that home.
Obviously sun is important. So what if there's trees blocking, if a lot of trees in the yard and cast a lot of shadows?
Yep, they certainly do, no question about that. And it's all about the angle of the sun. So here in New England, in the summer, sun's right up there. It's 72 degrees, so it's shining over everything. Fall and winter is at 48 degrees. Fall and spring, it's at 48 degrees. And wintertime is all the way down to 24 degrees. So long shadows throughout the winter. That's just a fact. That's where we sit on the planet. But again, every roof sees some sun, and part of my work is to send out a surveyor to verify how much sun that roof sees. So the panels make the power from the sun hitting them. So it's just how many panels and how much sun will generate how much electricity we can make. Shadows are everywhere. It's just a matter of how much. So we measure how many annual sun hours hit every section of the roof so that we can know the optimal place to put panels.
That's the thing, huh? Annual sun hours?
Annual sun hours. Yep, we can tell you.
I know I've talked to a number of people and they have a concern sometimes about, the life of a roof in New England is 20 to 30 years. What if with the panels on the roof, what if they need to replace, or what if I need to replace the shingles on my roof?
Excellent question, and that's where you're really going to want to be sure that you're thinking through what solar company you're working with and what their warranties and policies are. So Lyle.Webster, Vivint Solar, Clean Energy Consultant. There's really four main points, and I know we're going to hit them all, but move, maintain, roof replacement, and rate. So I'll make sure we get through all those questions before we're done. Roof replacement is what you bring up. I already mentioned we send our site surveyor out. So the site surveyor is going to determine how much life is left in your shingles. They need to be good and pliable so that we can lift them and put all of our flashing and fastening in place. So we'll evaluate that. So we want to see at least 5 good years ahead in that roof. But we're talking about a system that's going to be covering those shingles, and we're looking for 25 years of working together when we set up a system. So we want to make sure that the shingle life is really there to justify building the system over it. Again, we send out a surveyor. Surveyor's going to tell us, because we're not going to look to set up a system that's going to be in the way of re-roofing. But if we get to, say, year 21 and it's time to replace the roof, Vivint Solar only charges cost, not looking to make a profit center out of it. We are only looking to cover our cost for taking the system down. So should you need to replace that section, we'll take the entire system down, we'll store it, you'll go ahead and replace the roofing, we'll come out and we'll put everything back up. We just charge cost. Again, it's not something we're looking to make a profit center out of. We just really don't want somebody else messing around with the panels. So
just the cost of labor of doing the work.
Cost of sending the crews out, taking it all down, putting it all back up again. So we will cover that cost only, and there's no further charge beyond that.
Okay, thanks. As a realtor, I've known homeowners that rent panels. I've known homeowners that also that purchase the panels. The panels actually sell with the house, are on the house. Is there a benefit one way or the other to rent or own?
Excellent question. I know you and I have talked about this before. You told me early on that you sold a home with solar on it. In your career, you shared the marketing materials with me, so we'll cover that point when we get there. There's 3 ways to go about it. So you can own the system, that's fine. You can do what's called a PPA, Power Purchase Agreement, where you agree to purchase the power that the system creates. And the third is a lease. Lease is essentially the same as a power purchase agreement, just you have a fixed monthly payment each year. With a power purchase agreement, it's like your electricity bill. You pay for how much power the system generates. I will tell you it will be the same number at the end of the year. It's just with a power purchase agreement, it goes by how much sun the system sees. So lease or PPA is the same. The real question is which will serve you better, and that's what I would talk to the family, the homeowners about as we get together. There is no upfront cost either way, unless the person chooses to pay cash, which is ultimately the best price. Cash is king, you know that. But Vivint Solar has set it up so we will build the entire system at no cost. Crazy, but yes, we will. In that system, we are the utility. We've built the system there at the home, and that home is going to buy the electricity. So that's the one way. The other way is to own the system. So, yep, you can pay cash, but we can also set up financing. We've secured the financing so that you get, again, a fixed price, a fixed monthly price that's going to look a lot like what you just paid last year, but it will never go up. So the utilities go up on average about 6% per year. With ownership, you can fix your cost, and that's going to give you the benefit of equity versus rent. So you're actually paying to own the system instead of just paying rent for the electricity.
And that price will never go up. That cost of electricity never goes up.
Here's the point. If you own the system, you're not paying for electricity anymore. You're paying to own the system. Ownership versus agreeing to purchase the power.
Okay. Is it transferable to the next owner of the house when the house is sold and purchased?
Yep, I've done it myself several times. Vivint Solar is nearing 200,000 installations here in the past 9 years. So yeah, there's a few people that move. You've probably met a few of them. So yes, it is transferable to the next owner either way, whether you choose to have Vivint Solar build the system at no cost to you or whether you choose to own the system. We have a transfers department that works at that point for just the simple one sheet. same as you would have with your utility. I was paying for the power for the last number of months. The new owner is this person. Done, no question, no pain, transferred, easy as that.
200,000 installations. So Vivint Solar is a good sized company, it sounds.
Yes, you can look us up on the New York Stock Exchange, VSLR. We have the full backing of Blackstone Capital, the world's largest private equity firm. We are not going anywhere.
You know, there's thanks. There's a concern I hear here and there, kind of like when you have a satellite dish on your for your television on the snowy days, the cloudy days, you lose your signal, right? With the solar panels, what happens in the winter, for instance, around here, it gets pretty, you can have a prolonged periods of just overcast. Do you still have power at that point?
Yep, I think there's probably three good answers to that question. So the fact of the matter is your relationship to your present utility does not go away. They will continue to be there. Vivint Solar is going to look to take the lead share, if you will, the primary supplier position, but the utility is still going to be there. So they will supply at night. If you haven't made enough power by day, they will supply. If we've had a bunch of rain, there's not much power generated, they will supply in the wintertime when you're covered with snow. You will never be without power. The other part of the answer is I did this before to indicate that starting in January and making our way through to December, you make the most sun, June, July, August, and that builds up our credit. So if you've heard the term net metering, so net metering, gross net, so you will get a new meter when you get a solar power system. So that tracks all of the power that the system generates. And in the summertime, you're earning a credit. You're always earning a credit with the utility. So that means in January and December, you will have a credit to use up in the years as you move forward. So the utility doesn't go away. There's net metering. And then the other good question is the solar panels are black, shiny glass panels, just like your cell phone. So yep, snow is going to fall on it for sure, but they're black and shiny. So eventually that snow is going to slip off and then you're back to making power again. So it's not like you got to go out and get yourself a bunch of equipment to stay ahead of the solar panel system.
I don't need to climb up there in the winter with a soft shovel and shovel the snow away.
If you're passionate about getting every single bit of kilowatt hour generation, I can show you a really cool tool that's even better than a roof rake, but you don't need to. It'll come down itself.
All right, maybe later. That'll be the next interview. You can show us a cool roof rake.
Tune in next week for chapter 2.
So, you know, the next question I had in my mind was the cost of installation, but you said the installation is absolutely no charge, right? If I am renting or leasing, correct? Is there, if I purchase the panels, I would imagine this depends on the size of the house, or how many panels that there are. Would that be correct?
Fair question. Yep. So just to be perfectly clear, it is because of the programs that are in place that allow a company like Vivint Solar to be a little bit further reaching in our thought. So yeah, we will install for anyone that qualifies. You and your home have to qualify for the program. We will take everybody through that. All you have to end up doing is understand how it works and say yes, please. But for the folks who aren't interested in solar power as a home improvement, that just would like to pay less for electricity, day one is when you start saving, because the solar power system starts generating and you pay less for that power. No cost for the system. Vivint Solar absorbs the cost, and just with our agreement, we agree that you're going to purchase the power that we generate, you or the homeowner, however long you're there, and as we already said, it transfers to the next one. So we have incorporated our cost into that. No charge for that installation.
Man, it seems like everybody should have solar panels on their homes. You know, electricity is, you know, especially nowadays where cost cutting is really essential, right? So It sounds like a no-brainer to me. Um,
It really, people want to make it more complicated and confusing than it is. This is why I just ask for the conversation. So I love referrals, show up at people's homes, and now we can do everything remotely. Thanks to COVID-19, I can do the entire procedure from my home, and we can just meet over Zoom. So I just need to collect a half a dozen pictures of how the system is tied to the home and the circuit breaker panel, and then all pages of a recent utility bill, and I can create the whole system, the whole proposal from here at my home. I don't ever have to go to your home. And yeah, you'd think everybody would, because everyone saves and everyone benefits. The federal government has a credit, the state of Massachusetts has a credit, and we haven't even gotten to this, but it is the owner of the system that reaps the reward. So of creating the electricity, because when the solar power system is on the house, the owner of that system is paid by the utility for creating the electricity. So remember back to supply and delivery. So right now the utilities have to buy their electricity from somewhere because they don't make any. So oftentimes here in Massachusetts, we're buying natural gas created electricity from upstate New York. Some of it's hydro from Quebec, and that feels good, but you still get the delivery. So when you're making the power, the utility has to pay you for making the power. Crazy, but that's how we.
You are actually a mini power plant for the
Oh,
electric
yeah.
company. So essentially, you are a part of the grid as you has this as you have solar systems or solar panels on your house. You're a part of the grid, and you are part of the community that is generating power for the power company. That's pretty cool. What a concept.
You are a supplier. You are paid to be the supplier. So that is part of the return on investment that I calculate with people. So when you own the system with all those credits and that incentive, there comes a day where instead of having thrown all that money out in the street for the utility for however long, you would have paid that anyways, but instead you've paid to own the system. And there comes a day where you don't own anything on it anymore, and then you have no cost electricity forever forward. So you're saving green and being green all at the same time.
Plus, I heard you say you get tax credits from state and federal governments. That's tax credits on what?
On the cost of the system.
Oh, okay, all right. So, cost of the system, the cost of purchasing the system, you get a tax credit on?
Yep. So simple math. Massachusetts makes it real easy. You earn a $1,000 tax credit on every system. So just a flat $1,000 for Massachusetts. So you would apply that credit to your liability that you owe the state, and there's $1,000 that you don't owe. For your federal tax credit, here we are in 2020. This year, the federal tax credit for purchase of a solar power system is 26%. Do some simple math. I won't say $100,000 system because that would be a really large system, but let's say a $50,000 system, still pretty large system. For purchasing that system, you would earn a 26% federal tax credit. So a $50,000 system is going to earn you $13,000 in tax credit. Is applied to your liability, and again brings down how much you owe for that year. If you don't owe $13,000, you can carry it forward to future years, but the fact of the matter, earn that credit. So 26%, wait a minute, that means there's more than a quarter of the system already paid for, and all you did is agree to buy it. So this is where the cost of the system from the purchase price to what really comes out of your pocket gets to be a lot smaller. And generally, in something plus or minus 10 years, you would have paid that much to the utility anyway and be nowhere. You'd still just be paying money every year, as opposed to the opportunity to own it, reap all of those tax credits, and the incentive of being paid every month, a direct deposit into your account instead of coming out of your account for making that electricity at home.
And then I see, again, it sounds like a no-brainer. And then I see panels more and more and more as I'm driving around neighborhoods on homes. And there's even some neighborhoods I see that majority of the houses have panels on them. And I think personally, I think a panel on a house, whether it be a full roof panel or just part of the roof that has a panel on it, I think it looks sharp. I really think it's attractive. It shows progression and sign of the ages. Some people think that doesn't make the house look makes the house look a little undesirable, right? What's your thoughts on that?
Yep. So we didn't go over pedigree and how I ended up here, but I'm Littleton lifer. My family's been here forever. I knew I wanted to be an architect when I was 8 years old. But solar power really started to capture my interest in Littleton High School. And here we are 35 years later, and it's finally real. I can do this. I've been with Vivint Solar for 5 years now. So the point you bring up is preference. There is no accounting for preference. I'll get a little ribald here. One of my old builders used to say, there's a different toilet seat for every rear end. It's true. You might have people that like a yellow house. You might have people that like blue house. You know, there ain't anything to do about that, but show them another one. Solar panels look, again, a lot like your cell phone. Our panels are black glass, black modules, black frames. So you get a really pretty cool high-tech roof. You can have a sexy roof. Everybody's asphalt shingles. But with a solar power system, you will tell the world that you are making your own power. You're ahead of the curve. And you're also making the world cleaner and greener while we're at it. So,
love it, love it, love it. Thanks. Hey, a little plug for your company, right? What would be the advantage of working with Vivint Solar?
Excellent question, and everybody's going to want to do their research, and you should. Well, I'll say the three basic points to any business decision that you're going to think about getting into are quality, service, and price. So price, are you going to be able to find something better? Sure, probably you might, but we're the ones that have built this organization with 200,000 installations from here to Hawaii. We're in 23 states. We're not going anywhere. And our warranties stand. The panel's warranted for 25 years, the inverter for 20. And when it's our system, when we install it, we're there to do all the maintenance the whole time. Even if we sell you the system, you get 10 years bumper to bumper coverage for us for the full installation, fully watertight, all that. So quality, price, and service. Price, service, that's where the warranties come in. Quality, we buy the best material because obviously if we're going to be putting 25 years of coverage on there, we're going to want to know it's going to last. So Vivint Solar has made all those decisions. We've built our corporation based upon that, so you can know that we're going to be here to stay. If you like reviews, go look for them. When you have 200,000 installations, that means you've talked to about 600,000 people, give or take. There's going to be the negative reviews. Any big company gets them. Just ask, Coke, Pepsi, Disney World. They're out there. But however many you find, think about those 200,000 installs that we have, and it's going to be a very small number. If you look on Google, if you look on Better Business Bureau, or if you look on help me, Peter, what's the other one? Our reviews are essentially 4.5, 5, all the way up.
Like Yelp, maybe? I don't know.
Yelp's out there. Yelp's a little bit more for people that like to rate reviews, but consumer affairs, sorry, that one slipped my mind. But those three were always going to be high, and we're going to be higher than the competition. Are there local pop shops that do a fine job and might not have the vision to build a company that's going to be around for 25 years that might sell for a little less? Yeah, but again, you get what you pay for. So, I don't buy Fred's hatchback, so I know that my Chevy Volt's going to keep rolling and GM's going to take care of me. So gets back to preference. People can make the choice they want, but Vivint Solar is going to be around. That's what I'm happy to offer.
Hey, thank you, Lyle. I appreciate the interview. I know a lot of people, it's still maybe a foreign thing, solar panels on homes. They see other people doing it and they don't know exactly how it works. And it really sounds like once they're educated and they say yes, they're solar panels, they just sit in their house or go to work, and you put the panels on the house and they immediately start saving on electric bills. It
Absolutely.
sounds pretty simple. So
You you
yeah, go
lucky.
ahead.
You and I are luckier than most, Peter. We live here in Littleton, and thank you, Littleton Electric Light and Water Department. We have the cheapest electricity in the entire Commonwealth.
Mm.
For our friends that live around us and don't have a municipal power company like Littleton Electric, National Grid, Eversource pay twice as much as we pay, and our poor friends in Unitil territory can pay 3 times as much as we pay. So the return on investment is that much quicker.
Well, anybody that is seeing this short video probably knows that already. That has National Grid, Unitil, or the third one that you just said.
National Grid, Unitil, and Eversource. So
yeah.
Those. I just took a bill from a woman I've been working with for a while. So now that she and her husband are home and the daughter, and they're using all their power, their bill was $350 for the month. She was ready to tear her hair out. So
Per month.
yeah, that's what we.
And I'm sure during the summer months when the AC is on, there's houses that have central air, where the AC is on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It must get really up there.
People are home, they're using their power, and it costs more. And I'm sorry, it's not going to go down. It's going to go up, and it'll probably spike with what we've just all lived through. So making your own power right there at home is possible for everyone. And I'd be happy to put together a proposal for anyone that like to know how they can put their roof to work for them.
Fantastic. Hey, Lyle, appreciate you taking some moments out of your busy schedule. And I will, so this will be posted lots of places that people will be able to look up your contact information, or if you'd like to plug, how would people get a hold of you?
Excellent. I should probably send you my signature card so that you have that. We can share that. So Lyle Webster, Lyle Webster, like the dictionaries. Call, text, email anytime, and I will share that information with you, Peter.
Fantastic. All right, thanks very much, and you have a really nice, rest of the weekend. Thanks a lot.
Sounds great. All the best.